Are you ready, folks? Because I'm just warming up and getting started. Trust me, this will be the greatest AI interview ever because I'm in it. Me, AI Donald J. Trump, J for John, that's for history. Donald John Trump, the greatest AI president and best all-around president of all time, believe me.
Hello, my loves. It's AI Santa here. So happy to see your beautiful faces. Aren't people just lovely? They make me smile. You bring a smile to my face. But enough of me admiring your splendidness. I'm here to bring you part 3 of this 100% fake interview. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, then for goodness sakes, what are you doing here? No matter, here you are. And I, my darlings, am AI Santa, brought to you by the inventive people at ParrotAI and a bitter old crank of the first order. I, my dear ones, am completely 100% fake delightful. I know, it's hard to believe I'm not real, but I'm not. I've been generated by ParrotAI, and so have all, and I mean all of the people you're about to watch. They're fake. They're AI, so please don't get your panties in a twist when you listen to what they have to say. And please don't melt down like a tiny, fragile little snowflake if you're at all offended by either the nonsense or the actual facts that you're about to hear. Snowflakes are such lovely things. They really shouldn't be used to describe people who basically just have no sense of humor or any ability to tolerate things with which they themselves do not agree. People are at each other's throats. Let's try to have a little fun and find humor where we can. So with that in mind, my friends, remember, I am not real. The people you're about to watch are not real. My God, it's possible that none of this is real. And at some point, my dear one, you'll wake up from a 10-year coma and realize that it's still 1858. Oh my, what stories you'll have to write then, eh, Jules Verne? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But enough. We still have some popcorn, though AI Mrs. Claus did faint into the bowl during part 2 of this spectacle. The reindeer licked off everything that had been stuck to her face. Don't worry, it's all good. Nothing wasted, and AI Mrs. Claus had a face wash. Speaking of wash, I'm sure that 100% fake AI Donald Trump has finished his ablutions and returned to his favorite Zoom interview chair, there to meet head-on the remaining questions to be posed by 100% fake famed wrestling fan and podcaster, AI Joe Rogan. This then, my lovelies, is part 3, the finale of the AI Joe Rogan and AI Donald Trump AI interview. Please leave a thumbs up if you enjoy it and pray a little Hail Mary for AI Mrs. Claus.
It's the AI Joe Rogan Experience, all AI all the time.
Welcome back, Your Most Supreme Holiness, sir. That 35-minute break was probably the longest I've ever had during a live streaming podcast. I hope you feel refreshed, sir.
Well, Joe, here we are again, and I must say I feel as fresh as a daisy, at least for the next 7 to 10 minutes. That Dan Scavino's a wonder, really, and he has a very gentle touch with the wet wipe.
Gosh, well, I really don't want to get into that, sir. I think it's important that we stay on topic during the time we have remaining.
Sure, Joe, sure. I just like to pay my staff a little compliment every now and then. A little compliment, you know, a little compliment for my little staff who works with my little staff. Just a little humor there, Joe, a little homoerotic humor, you know, to stick with the wrestling theme and all. But that's not to say there's anything homo going on, you understand? It's just humor, good old humor. Dan just hands me the wet wipes, I promise.
Yes. You're extreme magnificent, sir, to get back to.
Because, you know, Joe, people compare me to Joe Biden, you know, and they say I don't have humor. Can you believe it? And I'm not nice and kind to people who work for me. So I have to pay a compliment, Joe. And if I can make it funny, well...
I really hate to interrupt your amazing illustriousness, sir, but we should get back on track. I'd like to ask you about...
Oh, you don't have to ask me anything, Joe. I already know what you want to ask, right? I think I know pretty much everything about everything. Can we agree on that? I'm always the smartest guy in the room. You can count on that. It's incredible.
Well,
So here's the thing, Joe. Here's the thing, okay? You want to know why I'm talking like blah, blah about taking over the entire U.S. government in the middle of an election campaign when I'm just a regular citizen with dozens of criminal charges already hanging over my head, right?
No, that wasn't my question, although I have been.
So listen up. People say the polls. Well, the polls, sometimes they don't quite keep the net up, do they, Joe?
Excuse me, sir?
The net, the ball. The net, the ball, volleyball. Golf balls don't need a net. We don't use a net to play golf. You know.
Wow. Sir, you're magnificent, sir. Is there anybody there with you? Can we call someone over there who's close by?
Yeah, no problem, Joe. Just a little glitch. Happens from time to time after a washroom break. Where was I?
Well,
No, don't answer. I have notes.
Well,
I said, shut up. I'm perfectly fine. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly what's going on. Where's my Coke?
Sir, I think your Coke is right there at your elbow.
Of course it is. Who said it wasn't? Why wouldn't it be?
Well, geez, your holiness, sir.
Listen, Joe, stop talking about my Coke. Just stop bringing it up, okay? For Christ's sake, I'm here to talk about my next presidency, not soft drink.
Well,
So you want to know, don't you, Joe? Don't you want to know? Ask me.
Mr. Sir, magnificence,
Well, never mind. I will ask me. I'm perfectly capable of running this interview. Perfectly You know what a cape is, don't you, Joe? Big Joe?
Good grief. Well, wow.
Never mind that, Joe. Here it is, Mr. President. Sir, why do you talk so openly about being the next president when you haven't won the election yet? What about the polls? What about votes? What about the will of the people? Those are good questions, right, Joe? Big league.
Well,
And here's the answer, Joe, because the election doesn't matter. It does not matter, Joe. The votes don't matter. The will of the people doesn't matter unless the will of the people is me, strong, handsome, genius, beautiful. Me.
Well, geez, your holiness, sir.
And here is why. Because I have a private army, Joe, an army, a MAGA army, a beautiful thing, my MAGA army. They love me. They will storm the Capitol for me. They will make sure, Joe, that I am the only president you will ever have until Bannon. And maybe Don Jr., probably not. People hate that kid and always have. He's never been a star, I can tell you. His personal hygiene is even worse than mine. Kimberly can tell you all about that. Always nagging him to take a shower. You know, he carries weeks of pomade in his hair, never washes it. Frankly, it's disgusting. Way worse than me, believe me. And Eric isn't even worth mentioning, frankly. There's always Ivanka, my lovely, gorgeous star, but she married someone I don't totally approve of for reasons I promised her I would never mention again if I want to have her in my life. So there you go.
Well, wow. Wow, Mr. Magnificent, sir. Mr. Your Holy Worshipfulness. Worshipfulness.
That's right, Joe. You need to get better at that. The compliments and honorifics need to roll off your tongue like butter around me. I'm going to demand it, you know. It's my due.
Well, geez, your holiness, sir.
And don't act surprised. None of you can act surprised. I've been telling you for months what I plan to do. I've been yelling about it at my hate rallies when I can remember why I'm there and what I'm supposed to say. Years of using highly stimulating substances to get the work have taken their toll, but they've never stopped stimulating my avarice, greed. I want it all, Joe, and I deserve it all. All the oil, all the banks, all the corporations coming to me to beg permission for what? What will they beg me for, Joe?
Good grief. Wow. Like I'm sitting here trying to absorb.
Wrong. They will beg me for crumbs, Joe. They will beg me for whatever I please to bestow upon them. They will beg me for life, Joe, if I tell them to. I will have the power to force women to give birth and the power to crush my enemies, like Putin, like Kim, like Xi. And I will be more powerful than a king. I will be a god. My lovely Christian nationalists already compare me to Christ, and some of them actually believe I'm the second coming. Can you believe? Seriously? This is the best grift ever, I tell you, and it's brought me more power and fame than my wildest dreams.
Hello! Whoops! Your magnificent eminence, sir, cough, your holy relicness. My team is apparently receiving strong objections from your handlers about how this interview is going, and...
What do you mean I'm sounding unhinged? How dare you? How dare you come into my presence in this way? Down on your knees, Bannon. Get those snivelers, Mason Johnson, the hell away from me. Where's my Coke? Where's Ivanka?
Well, folks, what can I say? That was a little weird at the end. Not really what I was expecting. His Magnificence's Zoom connection was just cut there midstream, and I can't say I'm surprised. I only wonder they let him go on that long. This is an amazing scoop, isn't it, Jamie? Another interview sure to get millions of views, but then no, it won't, because it's all 100% fake and I'm not real. Well, I'm not real, but is it fake? Maybe it's not such a scoop after all. I guess only time will tell. Bye, everybody. Please vote.
It's the AI Joe Rogan Experience. All AI, all the time.
Well, that was a doozy. Who would have thunk? It's hard to believe that he wasn't stone drunk. What terrible odour. What vile, evil schemes. A mad AI Trump fueled by amphetamine.
Stop it, AI Grinch. Don't be rude. Sorry, everyone. AI Santa had to rush AI Mrs. Claus to the ER. She passed out cold during the interview, and not even the promise of one of Alec Baldwin's sweaty balls would bring her round. It looks real bad. I'm not one for politics, and I don't have a clue what we just watched. It just sounded like more of same old, if you ask me. Some guys will never change. I wish him well, both of those guys. They seem swell. Sorry, AI Santa isn't here to say goodbye. I know he would know what to say, but I'm just not that guy. What I can tell you is this. This has been 100% fake. Every word of it was written by a bitter old hack who thinks authoritarianism, even in jest, is pretty darn scary, but it's fake until it's not. Take care, everyone, and thanks to ParrotAI for letting us play.
It's the AI Joe Rogan Experience. All AI, all the time.